speaker for the day is Dr. Abhishek Shrivastava, who's a leading diabetes and thyroid specialist. As we all know, thyroid and diabetes both are becoming absolutely common these days. He's here to share some more useful information with us. A louder applause, everybody. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone, and it's been a pleasure to be in front of you all. I am Dr. Abhishek Shrivastava, endocrinologist from Madhya Pradesh. Basically, what I would be talking today is the disparity in the prevalence of diabetes in rural versus the urban areas. Why? It is a serious problem because today in India, almost 80 million Indian people are suffering from diabetes. And by the next 10 years, this figure would reach around 150 million. And that's not something to be proud of. And it is estimated that the overall prevalence of diabetes is around 7.3% now. But by the next 5 to 10 years, it would go more than 11 to 12%. And the reason for this is urbanization. Because we Indians are heading towards the urban lifestyle living, sedentary lifestyle, sedentary binge eating, lack of exercise, more of mobiles, more of laptops. And this lifestyle has led us to the basic complications of diabetes, or we can say heart disease also. Why there is disparity between the rural and the urban areas? See, the prevalence is not, the difference in prevalence is not very much high, but the problem is the reach of primary care physicians or the specialists towards the rural areas. We live in the major cities where the healthcare facilities are very much good. But if we go to the rural areas or to the villages where the healthcare providers are not that much efficient, the screening of diabetes, not only diabetes, the screening of anything, screening of the heart disease, screening of the thyroid problem, screening of the diabetes is a major problem because of lack of awareness amongst the primary care physicians and the lack of communication between the specialist and the primary care physicians also. So as a specialist who are in urban areas, they should try to communicate with the primary care physicians who are in the rural areas, and they should create a communication between themselves so that a major part of the screening purpose is solved. Why? Because still people in the rural areas don't know about the disease, don't know about the complications of the disease. They still feel that diabetes is not a big problem. And that is, this is the problem where we are facing right now, because when a patient comes from the rural area, he comes at a very later stage where the other complications, he faces other complications associated with diabetes, like the heart problems, like the kidney problems, the nerves problems, and it becomes difficult for a specialist to treat all these things. So we should try to fill the gap between the urban and the rural areas. We should try to make people aware about the disease. We should try to make the general physicians aware about the disease. We should try to screen as much patients as possible, not only for diabetes, but for heart, but for thyroid, and all other diseases which are being right now a pandemic problem. And as a specialist, I myself try to communicate with the rural public. I try to conduct free camps all over the rural areas where we screen almost 300 to 400 patients newly diagnosed diabetes a month. And all these camps are totally free of cost. So we as a doctor should try to be more of an active brand icon. We should be an active brand icon for the rural population, not for the urban population. That is my way of thinking. We should try to fill this gap as much as possible. Thanks a lot.
The next category of healthcare excellence, diabetology. Of the year 2019 to 2020, MP, the winner is Dr. Abhishek Shrivastava. Thank you so much for joining us today. Dr. Shrivastava is a renowned diabetes and thyroid specialist. As we heard him earlier, he is actively involved in many diabetes awareness programs. His research work has been awarded with the Research Excellence Award.
How are you feeling?
Fine, excellent.
Tell me your about, sir.
My name is Dr. Abhishek Shrivastava and I am from Jabalpur, Madhya Pradesh. And basically, why I am here is I want to spread awareness about the diabetes, because still in rural India, people are still unaware about the complications of diabetes, about the side effects of diabetes. They lack the awareness about diabetes. So my aim in future also is to create as much awareness as possible. And we as an institute, as an individualized clinic, we try to organize free camps all over our area, all over Madhya Pradesh, so that people can come to us and we should screen them and diagnose the patients who are still undiagnosed.